And we're back to look at this Windwalker Tree.
All right.
Intro time. I'm Daftjack. He's a Raging
Right.
Devil. I think I forgot to introduce us last time.
All good. They should know it by now.
Maybe, I don't know.
At least for these talent tree reviews.
I know, we're getting so close to the end. Anyway, I don't really play Windwalker. I know a couple people that play Windwalkers pretty good. I know they do a bunch of damage, but as a rogue man, I didn't really see the point in trying to pick the Windwalker up. Um, how about you?
I actually liked Windwalker in the beginning, but then it started in the beginning. I like the first two expansions I played it. It was good. I was fun. It was definitely fun. But when I started using combo breakers and stuff, that's when I didn't really like playing it because
Combo
I
breaker.
messed up so many combos doing two of the same moves, and that's when I broke it. Nah, I didn't like it. Because I always hit the same jab or same kick, and that's when I broke my damage.
Alrighty, and to start us off, we get the Fists of the Fury. 3 chi, 8-yard range, 24-second cooldown. Pummels all targets in front of you, dealing 5 times 120.75 attack power. Physical damage over 4 seconds to your primary target, and 5 times 120.75 attack power times 59 over 100 damage over 4 seconds to all other enemies. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Can be channeled while walking around. Good to know, good to know. Huh,
Mm-hmm. So they made that baseline now.
the baseline, nothing. It's a talent. I mean, you have to pick it to get anywhere, but it's still a talent. Touch of Karma. I don't like how this cooldown is right here. Like usually the first talent in the tree is a lame ability. Anyway, Touch of Karma, instant 1.5 minute cooldown. Absorbs all damage taken for 10 seconds by up to 50% of your maximum health. Redirect 70% of that amount to enemy targets as nature damage over 6 seconds. Pretty solid. I think that's that hasn't changed much, has it?
Touch of Karma.
Yeah.
No, I think 70% was a nerf they had previously. It used to be 100, but now it's 70. But yeah, it's
Mm.
still 70. So,
Yeah, I remember it used to hit like semi trucks.
but yeah, so it's still the same.
Shit was nasty. Feathers of 100 flocks. Spinning crane click. Starting over. Spinning crane kicks radius increased by 15%. There we go. Mark of the crane. 100-yard range. Instant. Windwalker spin while kicking in the air, dealing 4 times 10% of attack power times attack power times 0.98 attack power, blah, 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 math. Physical damage over 1.5 seconds to all enemies within 8 yards, deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Spinning crane kicks damage is increased by 18% for each unique target you've struck in the last 20 seconds with Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick stacks up to 5 times. Brewmaster, Mistweaver. Additionally, spin while kicking in the air deals 4 times 10% attack power, physical damage over 1.5 seconds to all. Oh no, I don't need to read this. All enemies within 8 yards, deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Interesting. Okay, moving on. Man, this tree is so much smaller than the last one. Shadow boxing treads. Blackout kick damage increased by 5%, and strikes an additional 2 targets. 50%.
50%, but yeah.
Hit scheme. Dealing damage with Blackout Kick increases the damage of your next keg smash by 10%, stacking 4 times. Dance of Shiji. Spending Chi has the chance to make your next spinning crane kick free and deal additional 200% damage. Approximately 2 procs per minute. Next we got Inner Peace. Maximum energy by 10%. Man, we haven't gotten any plus 2s yet. Rushing Jade Wind. Summons a whirling tornado around you, causing 9 times 10% attack power, physical damage over 6 seconds to all enemies within 8 yards, and deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Hidden Master's Forbidden Touch. Ooh, is this like Naruto? Touch of Death deals 40% increased damage and can be used a second time, well, within 15 seconds before its cooldown is triggered. Very nice. Crane Vortex. Spinning crane kicks damage increased by 10%. Fatal Flying Guillotine. Touch of Death strikes up to 4 additional targets. Wow, 4 targets on 1 touch of death? That's cool. Bone Dust Brew. Oh, we already read this one. Instant 1 minute cooldown. Hurls a brew created from the bones of your enemies at the ground, coating all targets struck. Your abilities have a 50% chance to trigger a second time for 40% effectiveness as shadow damage or healing. Windwalker. Spinning crane kick refunds 1 chi when struck. Enemies with your bone dust brew active. Proc chance 50%. Circulated strikes. Spinning crane kick bounces from striking unique targets with Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, or Rising Sun Kick increased by an additional 10%. And Bone Marrow Hops. Bone Dust Brews shadow damage or healing is increased by 40% when Bone Dust Brews dealing shadow damage or healing. Its cooldown is reduced by 0.5 seconds. Alrighty, what do we got next? Should I go down the middle or off the other side?
Probably down the middle, get it done over with fast.
Yeah, okay. Ascension. Increase your maximum chi by 1, maximum energy by 20, and your energy regeneration by 2. That's fucking dope. Increase all your all your resources and energy regen by 10%. That's so cool. Touch of the Tiger. Tiger Palm's damage is increased by 25%. That's boring. Flying Serpent Kick. Instant 25-second cooldown requires monks soar forward through the air at a high speed for 1.5 seconds. If used again while active, you will land dealing 8% 0.7892% attack power, damage to all enemies within 8 yards, and reduce movement speed by 70% for 4 seconds. It's pretty standard. We haven't even had to choose one talent in here. Is there only one choose one in this whole tree? This is kind of lame. What is going on here? Um, Flashing Fists. Fists of Fury's damage increased by 10%. It's another really boring talent. I assume it goes up to 20. Gale Burst.
Probably.
Yeah. Increase damage done by Touch of Death by 10%, and all damage you deal to the target during its duration. That's pretty cool. Oh, here's one. Choose one. Earth, or Storm, Earth, and Fire. Instant, or Serenity. So you get an instant 1.5 minute cooldown with one charge, or an instant 1.5 minute cooldown. The Storm, Earth, and Fire split into 3 elemental spirits for 15 seconds. Each spirit dealing 45% of normal damage. You directly control the spirit, while Earth and Fire mimic, or spirits mimic your attacks on nearby enemies. While active, Storm, Earth, and Fire again will cause the spirits to fixate on your target. Serenity replaces Storm, Earth, and Fire with enter an elevated state of mental and physical serenity for stagger 100 seconds. 12 seconds. Well, in this state, you deal 20% increased damage and healing, and all chi consumers are free and cooldowns 100% more quickly. I picked the passive. Well, there's no passive. Never mind. I picked the second one because I don't like dealing with them fucking ads. Moving on, we have Drinking Horn Cover. The duration of Serenity, Storm, Earth, and Fire is extended by Serenity 3 seconds every time you cast a Chi Spender. 4 seconds for Chi, Earth, and Fire. Storm, Earth, and Fire. I see. Invoke Zhen, the White Tiger. Summons an effigy of Jin, the White Tiger, for 24 seconds. Zhen attacks your primary target and strikes 3 enemies within 10 yards every second with Tiger Lightning. Ooh, the hell is some Tiger Lightning for 23% of attack power nature damage every 4 seconds. Then strikes your enemy with an empowered Tiger Lightning for 10% of the damage you have dealt to two targets in the last 4 seconds. That's a cool ability. Oh, and it's modified at 58. Okay, that's what that is. That Ewan's
right.
Bond? Sven's Yoon's Bond. Abilities that activate combo strikes reduces the cooldown of Invoke Yen when the White Tiger by 1 second. Yen's damage is increased by 10%. Fury of Yoon. Your combo strikes grant stacking 1% chance for your next Fist of Fury to generate 656 haste. Invoke Yoon, the White Tiger, for 8 seconds. Empowered Tiger Lightning. When instant 100-yard range, Zun Zen strikes enemies with empowered Tiger Lightning every 4 seconds, dealing 10% of the damage you have dealt to those targets for the last 4 seconds. NY I. Zen's Battle Gear. Rising Sun Kick, critical strikes, reduces the cooldown of Fists of Fury by 5 seconds. When Fists of Fury ends, the critical strike chance of Rising Sun Kick is increased by 50% for 5 seconds. Transfer the power. Rushing Jade Wind. Blackout Kick. Rising Sun Kick increases damage dealt by your next Fist of Fury by 3%, stacking up to 10 times. Kiefer's Skyreach. Tiger Palm now has a 10% or 10-yard range and dashes you to the target when used. Tiger Palm also applies an effect increasing your critical strike chance by 50% for 10 seconds on the target. This effect can not be applied more than once every 10 minutes or every 1 minute per target. Not 10 minutes. I'm going too fast. Invoker's Delight. You gain 33% haste for 20 seconds after summoning your Celestial. Let's see here. We've got Power Strikes. Every 15 seconds, your next Tiger Palm will generate an additional 1 chi and deal 100% additional damage. Open Palm Strikes. When Fists of Fury deal damage, it has a 5% chance to refund 1 chi and deal 525% or deal 525 additional damage. Glory of the Dawn. Rising Sun Kick has a 25% chance to trigger a second time, dealing 2,732 physical damage and restoring 1 chi. Not penetrating. Mandarin Strikes. When you combo strike, the cooldown of Touch of Death is reduced by 25 seconds. Touch of Death deals an additional 6,213 damage. Jade Ignition. Whenever you deal damage to the target with Fist of Fury, you gain a stack of chi energy up to a maximum of 30 stacks. Using Spinning Crane Kick will cause the enemy to detonate in a chi explosion, dealing 65% of attack power damage to all enemies within 8 yards, and damage is increased by 5% for each stack of chi energy. Spiritual Focus. Every 2 chi you spend reduces the cooldown of Storm, Earth, and Fire by 1 second. Strike the Windlord. Strike with both Fists of the Heaven. My bad. I'm gonna start over. Strike of the Windlord. 2 chi instant cast, 40-second cooldown, 9-yard range. Strike with both Fists of Heavens at all enemies in front of you, dealing 900% plus 933% plus 933% damage, and reducing movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. Okay, that's the artifact weapon. Teaching of the Monastery. Tiger Palm causes your next Blackout Kick to strike an additional time, stacking up to 3 times. Blackout Kick now has a 15% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Rising Sun Kick. Thunder Fist. Strike of the Windlord grants a stack of Thunder Fist for each enemy struck. Thunder Fist discharge upon melee strikes, dealing 500% attack power and nature damage. Rising Star. Rising Sun Kick's damage is increased by 10%, most likely stacking to 20. Whirling Dragon Punch. Perform a devastating whirling upward strike, dealing 3 times 82.9319 attack power damage to all nearby enemies. Only usable while both Fist of Fury and Rising Sun Kick are not on cooldown. Oh, instant cast, 24-second cooldown. Feline Stomp. 4% base mana, 30-yard range, 30-second cooldown, recharge. 1 charge, strike the ground fiercely to expose a feline for 30 seconds, dealing 40% of attack power nature damage to up to 5 enemies and restoring 91% of spell power health up to 5 allies within 30 yards of the feline. Mistweaver up to 5 yards. Stagger effect by Stagger is 5% more effective for 8 seconds against enemies caught in the feline. Mistweaver or heal with Essence Font or with an Essence Font bolt. Feline Stomps an additional 65% of attack power damage. Your abilities have a 6% chance of resetting the cooldown of Feline Stomp while fighting in the feline. Last Emperor's Capacitor. Sheath Spinders increase damage of your next Crackling Jade Lightning by 100% and reduce its cost by 5%, stacking 20 times. That's pretty big. And then Way of the Fae. Increase the initial damage of Fae Stomp by 21% per target hit by that damage up to a maximum of 105.0% additional damage. And that is the end of this tree. What do you think, Devil?
Pretty solid, but yeah, it still feels a little thing for me though.
I think it's goddamn boring. There was nothing to really comment on. It was all pretty basic stuff.
Yeah. Still pretty much how it was in Shadowlands, I think, just with a couple new abilities from the artifact and covenants, but yeah.
Yeah. I think this tree needs some work.
Yeah, we'll
Not a
probably get some
lot.
fresh news, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the monk trees are just coming out, so they're first runs, as we've discovered lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably give this this is probably my least favorite tree I've seen so far out of all of the new trees. Like, I don't feel like I want to play a Windwalker any more than I did before, which wasn't a whole lot. What about you?
I mean, of course, I'll be giving it a shot, but not as enthusiastic as I usually am. So.
Alrighty, well, I guess we'll call it here. There's not a whole lot to talk about. This tree's kind of boring. Um, so I guess that's Daftjack out. See